Okay, hello, Tony. Please tell my audience the premise of your documentary called Andre is an Idiot.
I mean, the premise is it's a film about kind of an unconventional man who's very irreverent, who attempts to use humor, who uses humor as a coping mechanism. And in this film, he's using it as a coping mechanism to deal with the fact that he has stage 4 colon cancer.
All right, this is true. This is true. And tell me about choosing the title because Andre seems like a smart guy.
Right. So the title Andre's an Idiot comes from the idea that Andre was adamant that nobody thought he was making fun of cancer, but that it was self-deprecating. And so the title itself came from his mother. His mother said, Andre, you're an idiot. This is the easiest cancer to solve. All you got to do is get a colonoscopy, which he didn't. But he loved that idea that he's an idiot and that the humor is self-deprecating. And he wanted to make sure that no other people that had cancer felt like he was making fun of cancer because he was making fun of his own situation.
Noted. Well, why the heck didn't he get the colonoscopy?
He had the perfect opportunity to get a colonoscopy. His best friend actually invited him to go with him as a couple's colonoscopy. Andre denied, thinking that was a weird request from his best friend. And then COVID happened, and a year or two went by before he could even see a doctor, even though he was starting to have some issues. He thought it was from riding the Peloton, from other things. Um, and by the time he got his colonoscopy, he'd already had a lot of symptoms.
Okay, okay. And how did you end up teaming up with A24?
So Andre and I had worked together for years on a lot of ad work. Andre always had the most insane ideas. When he called me to do this documentary, I thought it was going to be an ad. He said, "No, this is not an ad. This is a movie. It's going to be a comedy about cancer." And I thought, that's insane. But Andre is just insane enough to make this work. After a year of shooting, I cut together a teaser of what we had captured and I sent it out. Andre, I think, had connections at Safe House Pictures that he had pitched some TV shows to. I think they sent it out to a wider group, and within a few weeks, we had a call from A24.
Heck, what's that like?
I realized the film had been picked up by A24. My first impression was somebody's playing a joke on me. My second thought was, but if not, A24 is the perfect company to accompany us on a film that's this insane.
Yeah, because I don't associate them with documentaries, but you're right. This is sort of offbeat, kooky material, and they certainly do that.
Yes.
Amazing. That's so cool. I can't imagine what that's like. So, have you attended the Sundance Film Festival before, where Andre is an Idiot is premiering, correct?
Yes, the Andre is an Idiot film is premiering at Sundance 2025. And no, I've actually never been to a film festival my entire life, let
Oh,
alone Sundance.
wow.
Went
Never
to
been to a
film
film festival
school.
in your whole life, and the first one's going to be Sundance. That is exciting.
Yes, went to film school. I always intended on attending, going to film festivals, but just never did. I don't know why. And so I'm so excited. My first experience is actually on this stage at Sundance with the film I've been working on for 4 years.
Well, heck, that's phenomenal, and it's not completely unusual that a filmmaker may not have been on the circuit itself. There are different camps to this, but hopefully you have the time of your life and you go around the world and go to many many other film festivals.
Yes, I would enjoy that.
Yes, yes, right. Okay, so the documentary is fun and it's also quite sad. Give us a little insight into your emotional state working on this project.
To my emotional state
Yeah.
specifically, this project was a roller coaster of emotions for obvious reasons. I would say that one of the people we interviewed early on had told us that cancer is like a sawtooth curve. It has big ups and big downs, and there's sometimes kind of plateaus where things seem really good, and then there's times where things drop really quickly and things seem really bad. And so I think, we followed Andre's trajectory of that sawtooth curve, which kept all of us on edge. Either we were all really happy and laughing, or there was times where it was difficult and it felt, invasive to shoot in his house. So the mood changed quite frequently. But I think that led us to the perfect kind of balance of comedy and tragedy.
All right. Okay. Um, do documentary manifestos have any utility as a director of a documentary for you?
Um, you mean like a manifesto pre-shooting or manifesto after
Well,
the fact?
like there are various like documentary manifestos. People like talk about different approaches, and I'm sure you don't want to be beholden to someone else's rules. But do you ever read these things? Do they have any use to you? Is that
Documentary manifestos is nothing I follow or really look at structure of documentary or thinking too hard into what other people have done with documentary. I think that every rule, and Andre would agree, is to be broken, to be challenged. And if you're going to do something, you're going to make art, don't follow the rules. That's the opposite of art. Break the rules. So let's not look at the constructs of documentary. Let's look at what felt right, what did we uncover, and what was the story that, we created.
beautiful? I love it. And what was your favorite documentary of last year, of 2024?
Well, to be honest, last year I was so busy filming this documentary, I wasn't watching many films. I tend not to watch a ton of films. My wife watches a lot more films than I do. I haven't had a lot of time. I've been very invested in this movie, and I didn't want to be skewed by other stories or other, structures of stories. And so, unfortunately, I don't really have a favorite from last year because I wasn't consuming them the way I would normally be. And also, Andre was dying at that point, and so I was focused more on finishing what we had started than watching other films.
Fair, fair. What's your like what maybe 2023, 2022, just like a recent documentary that you particularly enjoyed?
Well, I mean, one of the questions on the Sundance questionnaire that they sent through was, what was one of the movies that had gone through Sundance that inspired you? One of the first documentaries that really inspired me was called American Movie, and
Yeah, I can. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
premiered years and years ago.
Hmm.
But the idea that that documentary could take a very serious subject and turn it into a comedy, I didn't realize documentaries could be funny until then. And I was so confused as if this was a mockumentary or a documentary, but I was along for the ride and so invested in the characters. And I think that film changed my perspective of documentary since.
That is very insightful. I totally see that. That's great stuff. Do you have a favorite moment or scene in Andre is an Idiot?
I think, yes, I think the death yell moment in Andre's an Idiot is one of my favorites because it was so natural and the outcome was so visceral with them yelling off of this mountain and just the insanity of it. But also after the fact, I think we all felt a little bit of a release from such an insane moment of just screaming off of a mountain that it made us all feel a little better about what we were doing. And I remember that moment being kind of a just such a pivotal moment in the film where we realized this is going to be awesome. Like that was the moment we realized this is going to be a great film if we can keep this kind of energy going throughout. We're talking about something so dark, but yet doing something so ridiculous like yelling your last words off of a mountaintop. And there was a beauty to that I think changed the way I felt about the project from that point on.
Oh, lovely. I love it. What's the mindset people should enter Andre is an Idiot with?
I think, or if you're walking into the movie Andre's an Idiot, understand that you're walking in to view a movie, yes, about cancer, but also about a different way to approach tragedy. Not only the way we filmed it, but also the way Andre handled his cancer. And I would say that our normal reaction to something tragic is anger or potentially, feeling ripped off. Why me? And Andre approached this with, I want to learn, I want to joke, I want to have fun, and I want to feel everything that happens during this period of sickness and death. So I would say prepare yourself for a ride of tragedy and comedy. It's not your typical cancer film, and it's not your typical character.
I love it. Tony, thanks so much for your time. It was a real treat talking to you today. Is there a final thought you'd like to end this interview with?
Um, Final thought. No, not really. I mean, unless you have another question, Michael, I'm
Okay,
I
we
I
we
would
we
just
covered
tell the
it.
guys at the
Yeah.
PR company that I have to fly in like an hour, so my thoughts are sort of towards that
Uh,
because of the snowstorm coming in.
don't worry
But
about it. We got a lot to chew on. Andre is an idiot coming out from A24 and premiered at Sundance. Thanks so much for your time, Tony.
thank you, Michael.